of our group in Lagos, Arise Lagos. You know, it's the beginning of a new thing in Lagos, and I know that after today's experience, we'll all be happy that we were part of it. First of all, before we start, I want to apologize for us to call on Madam Abdul Rashid to give us the opening prayer.
اللهم إنا نستعينك ونستغفرك ونعوذ بك ونتوكل عليك ونثني عليك خيرا كله نكفرك ومن يكفرك اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونعبد نرجو رحمتك ونخاف اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. السلام عليكم.
Thank you very much, Madam Abdul Rashid. Please let us humbly stand up to respect the national anthem. First of all, I will introduce the chairman of the occasion, in person of Mr. Kola Afolabi. He is the real estate magnate and of international repute. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Kola Afolabi, chairman of the occasion. Next, I want to introduce our guest speaker. Our guest speaker himself needs no introduction. He's a man known in many circles, locally and of course activist per excellence, foremost Afenifere promoter, and he was even former secretary of the Pan-Yoruba Group Afenifere. He's a media consultant, civil and political activist, and the National Police Secretary of Afenifere. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Yinka Odumakin. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to introduce Lagos, someone well known to us in the grassroots, someone who has always been in the forefront of youth repositioning, articulation and aggregation of youth interests, someone who has always been in the forefront of the nationalist struggle, the patriotic struggle, I mean the struggle to bring our daily bread near to us, the struggle to bring our resources to work for us, the struggle to get the right leaders in the right places, the struggle to help youths shun thuggery, violence, and shun all that is negative. The struggle to help youths engage one another, I mean, positively. Join me in welcoming Honorable Gbenga Aloto, who is the convener of Arise. A big round of applause. Thank you. Actually, he's a national coordinator, Nigerian Destiny Forum, and Editor-in-Chief National Mandate Magazine. Okay, he's a media consultant of great repute. Actually, he was on seat before, but and then he went to bring some media men in to show them direction here. So I'm introducing him right now on his seat, and his name is Mr. Joe Ekenabasi. Please give me a round of applause and abstention, please. Thank you very much. While we will go on with the program, and we will ask our chairman to give us the opening remarks. Please give me a round.
Good afternoon. As I was coming here today, as I was coming here today, being the chairperson of this occasion, deeply honored, and though impromptu, the notice was far from being short. It was almost instant. I have to still say that I'm deeply honored to be here. But before I say anything, I would like to give respect to the convener, a very good friend, like a brother. I've known him for years, and I've always known him to be involved in positive things that enhances the lives of the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once more for him. I also like to say a big thank you to the Chief Speaker, the Speaker of the Day, for honoring the convener's invitation to grace this occasion and to speak to our youths. Sir, thank you, sir. Then, ladies and gentlemen, youth from all corners of Lagos, I would like to say a big thank you for being here. There is this saying that says it's not our abilities, but our choices that determines the kind of people we are. As we all know, the political landscape is heating up. So very soon, all these campaigns and things like that, political activities, will reach full gear. But before then, while we're gathered here today is to sensitize the youth. The youth, I still consider myself a youth, though I'm almost 45. But we have to learn to make the right choices. That is what today is all about. The choices we make determines who we are. The choices we make determines where we get to in life. So without much ado, you're welcome again, and I think I've covered just about everything. Mr. Host. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Someone I have great respect for, and someone I've known for over 20 years, and always broad shoulder to rely on, and I just pray that good Lord continues to make you relevant, as time goes by. Next on the agenda will be the convener, Honorable Gbenga Aloto. A round of applause for this gentleman.
When I say arise Lagos, you respond by saying Lagos arise. And the time is now. Arise Lagos. Arise Lagos. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now for us to put our destinies in our own hands. We so much occupy a very, very powerful aspect of the political process in Nigeria. Without the youths, there's no election, there's no politics. Okay? And if you mortgage your future, you blame yourself. You blame yourself. That's just to let you in into where I'm going. Just like I was introduced, my name is Gbenga Aloto, popularly known as Shaba. Yeah, I have a degree in law from London Metropolitan University. my life, most of my growing up, in my businesses has always been centered around the youth. So just like my friend said, I used to consider myself a youth, even though I might be slightly over 40. Well, I'm one of us. So I feel all of us, I feel you, because I'm proud of you. I know what we go through because we went through. We had this sort of beginning ourselves before we were fortunate to find ourselves in a better state. But by the grace of God, the Lord in heaven will take everybody where we want to be. In Jesus' name. The theme for my message today is political participation and public accountability. I would not want to bore you with a very long speech, but my message is a bit short and a bit lengthy as well, so I'll just implore you to please exercise patience while I deliver this short message. The general level of political participation in a society is the extent to which the people as a whole are active in politics. The number of active people multiplied by the amount of their action, to put it arithmetically. But the question of what is to take part in politics is massively complex and ultimately ambiguous. It raises the question of what constitutes politics. Participation activities may be motivated from an administrative perspective or a citizen perspective on a governmental, corporate, or social level. From the administrative viewpoint, participation can build public support for activities. It can educate the public about an agency's activities. It can also facilitate useful information exchange regarding local conditions. Furthermore, participation is often legally mandated. From the citizen viewpoint, participation enables individuals and groups to influence agency decisions in representational manner. Accountability, in a broad sense, is basically an evaluative concept. It is used to positively qualify a state of affairs or the performance of an actor. It comes close to the responsiveness and a sense of responsibility, a willingness to act in a transparent, fair, and equitable way. Accountability is not just another political catch-all. It also refers to concrete practices of account giving. The most concise description of accountability will be the obligation to explain and justify conduct. This implies a relationship between the actor and the forum. I hope you guys are following me. I hope my speech is not boring, because I want you to listen attentively. Explanations and justifications are not made in a significant order. This usually involves not just the provision of information about performance, but also the possibility of debate, of questions by the forum and answers by the actor, and eventually of judgment of the actor by the forum. Judgment also implies the imposition of formal or informal sanctions on the actor in case of malperformance, or, for that matter, of rewards in case of adequate performance. Accountability will here be defined as a relationship between an actor and a forum, in which the actor has an obligation to explain and to justify his or her conduct. The forum can pose questions and pass judgment, and the actor can be sanctioned. This relative simple definition contains a number of elements that need further explanation. The actor can be either an individual, in our case an official or civil servant, or an organization. With public accountability, the actor will often be a public institution or a government agency. The significant order, the accountability forum can be a specific person, such as a superior, a minister, or a journalist, or it can be an agency, such as the EFCC, a court, or the audit office. Or it can also be a more virtual entity, such as in the case of public accountability, the general public. The relationship between the forum and the actor often will have the nature of a principal-agent relation. The forum being the principal, e.g. Parliament, who has delegated authority to a minister. The agent who is held to account himself regularly about his performance in office. The relationship between the actor and the forum, the actual account giving, usually consists of at least 3 elements or stages. First of all, it is crucial that the actor is obliged to inform the forum about his conduct by providing various sorts of data about the performance of tasks, about outcomes, or about procedure. Often, particularly in the case of failures or incidents, this also involves the provision of explanation and justifications. Account giving is more than mere propaganda or the provision of information or instructions to the general public. The conduct that is to be explained and justified can vary enormously from budgetary scrutiny in case of financial accountability to administrative fairness in case of legal accountability. Secondly, there needs to be a possibility for the forum to interrogate the actor and to question the adequacy of the information or the legitimacy of the conduct in order to establish a close connection between accountability and answerability. Thirdly, the forum may pass judgment on the conduct of the actor. It may approve of an annual account, denounce a policy, or publicly condemn the behavior of an official or an agency. In passing a negative judgment, the forum frequently imposes sanctions of some kind on the actor. The possibility of sanctions makes the difference between non-committal provision of information and being held to account. These sanctions can be highly formalized, such as fines, disciplinary measures, civil remedies, or even penal sanctions. But they can also be based on unwritten rules, as in the case of the political accountability of a minister or politicians to public offices, where the sanction can comprise calling for the minister's resignation. It's no secret that many of our legislators have a knack for voting for their own interests instead of catering for the voice of the people. Revenue of civic engagement isn't easy, but isn't easy by any means. But if constraints are steadfast in their efforts, there are a few ways we can still ensure politicians listen to our concerns. And that's why we are here to sensitize ourselves on the strength that we possess as a youth of this country. We can, in no little means, bring our public functionaries to be accountable to us. But we need to be educated. We need to be sensitized. We need to be guided on the way to go about it. It's not a question of them coming to us and getting 10,000 naira to go steal ballot boxes or to go vote yourselves and your future away for the wrong candidates. So that's the reason why we're gathered here. There are several tools that the general public can use to hold public office holders and politicians responsible. But I'm going to talk about a few of them. understanding the best way to contact your representatives. It is paramount for us to know. It is paramount for us to know and use the contact details of our elected representatives. Crowdsourced nonsense detectors. A custom-built web application can be created to expose dubious statements made by politicians from across the political spectrum and shows that voters should be taken seriously and with respect. Citizens' ideological compass. Citizens must immerse themselves in the issues that involve the governance of their wards, states, constituents, and also the country. They must be aware of the diverse political parties' ideology and therefore educate themselves on the best approach to solve problems and the best political party that will represent their ideology. Fourthly, crowdsourcing the policy. Citizens can mobilize and get engaged in proposing solutions to the challenges that affect their lives on a daily basis. An official board or forum can be established to make this flow of communication of ideas flourish and produce vital and significant results in the development of our general polity. The fifth one is respect your voting power. The right to vote is a fundamental human right, and it is the most important weapon in the arsenal of any citizen in a state or country. Don't throw your vote away and don't sell your vote for temporary monetary gains. Your vote is the only legitimate or constitutional prerogative that you can use to get rid of any or every politician that do not meet up or deliver on their campaign promises. I want to believe that most of us understand the little messages that has just been delivered there. It's not a question of you coming here, listening to it, it comes into one ear and goes out the other ear. We are here to enlighten ourselves. We are here to make ourselves understand, the things that we need to do to make our leaders accountable and answerable to us. Do not be cajoled into taking the wrong choices. Nobody will force you out of your house to participate in politics. But if you have to, do it positively. Do not be used as sports. Do not be used to perpetrate violence and electoral malpractices. Because once you get used, that's the end. They use you, they dump you. After the election, call their numbers tomorrow, they won't pick your calls again. And then you go back to square one. And then you're starting all over again, and the problems remain there. The problems remain there unsolved because you have mortgaged, you have sold your future for 10,000 naira, for 20,000, even for $1 million naira. $1 million naira is not life-changing. You still have bad roads. There's still lack of electricity. We don't have social amenities. So it's high time. It's high time the youth rose up to their responsibilities. If we all stand collectively as one, we can force changes. We will effect changes. Politics is all about numbers, and it's all about voting. If the leaders don't do right, you vote them out. And you vote the right candidates. If the leaders know that if they don't do right, by the next election they're going to be voted out, they'll be forced to do right. Whichever one gets elected into the office next time will be forced to do the right things. So I'll leave it here for now. God bless everybody. Arise, Lagos! Arise, Lagos! The time is now. Thank you.
Mr. Gbenga Aloto when he was not on seat. So now that he's on seat, I would like to reintroduce him. He is the National Coordinator, Nigerian Destiny Forum, Editor-in-Chief, National Mandate Magazine, Media Consultant by Excellence. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me, join me in welcoming Mr. Gbenga Aloto by giving a huge round of applause. Thank you.
Arise Lagos. Arise Lagos. Is it now?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because if you don't arise now, tomorrow you will do sit-down look. Are you hearing me? If you don't arise now, tomorrow, when you are old, you will do sit-down look. And that's not your portion. You will not do sit-down look. In your country, you will arise and take your position. And that's what we have started today. So I welcome you all. You are taking a step for tomorrow. Are you hearing me? The step you are taking today is for your tomorrow. So keep it on. I want to appreciate you for putting up this forum today. Something like this. And I'm happy that you have finally done it. Mostly in Lagos. Lagos is the heartbeat of Nigeria. You know that? Lagos, whether anybody like it or not, whether any other states say they are heartbeats or not, Lagos is the heartbeat of Nigeria. I'm particularly happy today to be here. Not only to be here, but to be put and around a man that I've been hearing of, I've been listening to when I was in school as a student in 90s. And that is my beloved uncle. You are welcome, sir. When you were a student in university in those days, people like him were the one running us up to have a hope, to know that we are going somewhere in Nigeria that is around you and supporting you in this project. Keep your hope alive. You are going somewhere. Are you hearing me? So we are particularly pleased. Let us stand on our feet and give a warm welcome to His Excellency Honorable Odumakin. Let's do that right now. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think there's any excellency that is excellency than him. Are you hearing me? In Nigeria, I know what I'm saying. I don't think there's any of the excellencies we have today that's more excellence than him. He made a way for them to become the excellency today. So thank you for today. I'm a Nigerian man. Like you have, I'm a national coordinator of Nigerian Destiny Forum. We decided some 3-4 years back to be a part of the struggle to rescue Nigeria from the bondage of cabals, from the hands of cabals who have held this country to ransom since we were kids. And they want to continue to do that. Will you agree? Yes. That's why we are here. Let me tell you, as a young man, you have a duty. You have responsibility to know what is going on or what is happening in your environment. Let me not, I'm not a speaker, but what I want to tell you is keep the spirits hot. Don't go into violence. Don't be violent about what you are doing. Are you hearing me? Don't be violent at all. But as of today, as we are talking so, the security all over the place, so don't be violent. We are getting permission and order for security to be released to protect you today. Are you hearing me? So the security all over the place. Continue with these projects. This is just the beginning. And I know we are going somewhere. I will give you every support I can. And others will give you every support they can. We are going somewhere. One of these days, you have audience in Abuja. Are you hearing me? Because you are doing good thing for Nigeria. And Nigeria must know you are doing good thing. But don't get involved in violence. Are you hearing me? It's not by accident that this thing is happening during Mandela's, let me not say death, celebration of Mandela. Mandela was a person who decided to fight against his people and against his enemy. The issue you are taking today, you are going to fight against your people, you are going to fight against your enemy. Are you hearing me? Are you there? Yeah. Arise Lagos. Lagos arise. Arise Lagos. Lagos arise. Are you tired? Thank you very much. God bless you.
Richly experienced. We want to thank you for sharing with us from your repertoire of knowledge and experience. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Joe. While the program was going on, we came in, so we give honor to whom honor is due. On my far left, I have Mr. Ahmed Ismail. Mr. Ahmed Ismail is a businessman, and he is the managing director of Rami Global Trust. Please give him a round of applause, Mr. Ahmed Ismail. Thank you. And just there next to him, we have a gentleman, the handsome man, Mr. Yinka Odumakin. Mr. Yinka Odumakin is likewise a businessman who is into real estate. Please give him a round of applause. Arise, Lagos. Lagos. Lagos, arise. Thank you very much. Now we have come to open our ears, our eyes, our inner minds, our concentration at the utmost, where we have to learn. I mean, this is the point where we have the inputs to make us better citizens, to make us better people, okay? Because with the elections fast approaching, we are saying no to thuggery. We are saying no to violence. If they want thugs, let them use their own children. If they want violence, let them use their own family. Okay? We want productive lives. Okay? We are not non-entities. We want to be an integral part of society. And that is the concept of Arise Lagos. Okay? To alert, to awake Lagosians to the consciousness of politics and governance. Because whatever happens in these circles affects everybody. So we cannot just stand aloof. We must get our hands, on the plow. We must actually get a hands-on approach for us to have a meaningful future, not just for ourselves, but for unborn generations, for future generations to come. So this is a step we are taking in the right direction. And at this juncture, where we have come to the point where we have to listen to our guest speaker, he's going to share with us from his rich experience. He's a man of many parts, okay? And I assure you that at the end of the day, we know that yes, we have had a worthwhile day. Permit me to introduce Mr. Guest Speaker, Mr. Yinka Odumakin. You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Arise, Lagos. Arise, Lagos. Lagos, arise. Yeah, please get the stage. First of all, let me introduce you. It's my pleasure being here with you. Also, the convener, Mr. Aloto, other distinguished guests on the ITU, and I'm so fascinated that I'm seeing a lot of real estate people on my left, 1, 2, 3. So maybe
I will see them after this meeting. Well, we have had a lot here this morning, afternoon, from the chairman, from the convener, and from the Mr. Joe. I'll just add a few things because I don't want to keep us here for a long time. When I got this invitation and I saw Lagos arise, please, can you give me your attention, please? I'm not going to take your time, but in a few minutes, I'm going to speak. Please give me your attention. Because it's very, very important presence in your future, which has been taken away at the moment. So please give me your right attention. When I got this invitation about Lagos arise, I said, well, maybe our people are waking up. I'm not to be here. Because of recent, I've been hearing that Lagos today is not about a city. That Lagos is about one man. And there's one man that goes about and calls himself Lagos. When he wants to go and sleep, he says Lagos wants to go and sleep. When he's tired, he says Lagos is tired. And gradually, we have all gone asleep. And a few individuals over the years have taken all the space. And now, the truth of the matter is that all of us stayed here, they don't see us more than the ballot box. The ballot box you bring out on election day. When the election is over, you keep it to the next election. That's what we are to the politicians who are in charge of our lives today. And since you are in Lagos, I want to ask you some practical questions. In the neighborhood where you live, if you move some kilometers about, you are likely to see either a Japanese estate, or a Japanese school, or a Japanese this, or a Japanese that. Who has not experienced that in this whole place of your hand? If Japanese ceased being governor of Lagos State 30 years ago, and all what the other people can still point to their neighborhood are Japanese estates, something is wrong. If most of the schools, public schools you can still see, were building, were darkening the schools, something is wrong. Some 4 years ago, I was in the Abuja Sheraton Hotel, and we were talking, and he told me, and said, you know that the last budget I presented as governor of Lagos State in 1983, which I did not spend for 84, was 1 billion naira budget. And it made all the headlines newspaper. Lagos hit 1 billion. And he never spent that budget. The implication of that is that all the Japanese, all the Japanese that you are seeing in your neighborhood today was done with less than $1 billion naira every year for 4 years. Japanese never spent $1 billion naira a year as governor of Lagos State. Today, the same Lagos budget is about 460 billion naira average. 500, that's one. That in fact, in the last 8 years, I'm close to over almost 7 trillion naira have been spent in Lagos. And we cannot see the kind of impact that Alakijabede made with less than 1 billion naira every year. Even if you extrapolate key inflation rates between now and then and now, you will see that quite a lot of resources have approved the Lagos in recent years down we had there. But today, all we can see mostly are development in the elite areas. Then you go to Banana Island, we are reclaiming the oceans. A plot of land is going for over $1 million. And it was interesting, so a few months ago, sometime last year, our governor in Lagos was on television. I saw him, not that he told me. I saw, and people asked, why is it that your government is not building low-cost houses? And the governor said, is there low-cost cement? When I heard that, it was clear to me that the paradigm has shifted. We are now in Lagos of a few elites for the few elites, not about the people. And that must change. That is why Lagos needs to arise. We cannot continue to have two cities in a city. A city for the rich, super rich, and the rest of the city for the poor. It's not acceptable. We have enough resources to give opportunities to everybody, to make our people, to give them opportunities to do business, to thrive. But government has to give a enabling environment, which is not being done. Politics today in Lagos and some other, and most places have become politics of a few dynasties. And that's why when it's time to get a senator, they can't find anybody else apart from their wives. When they have to get the younger general for the markets, it has to be their daughter. They don't have two heads. We all have one head each. And we are all stakeholders in this state. And that is why it's important. And that's why I provided this group. That we are coming up at this crucial moment to begin to organize yourselves. Because those who are taking advantage of us, they are organizing. They are also getting more people. They are recruiting from everywhere. People are becoming affecting to them, stretching themselves because they want to be their group. And now they don't want to go and capture the center to continue what has happened in Lagos here in the last 14 years. I believe that if you want progress, I believe that if you want our lives to be better, you must take seriously what the commander said earlier on. That we have to get involved. We have to take charge, take our own destiny in our own hands. We can no longer allow politics to be in the hands of the politicians. We must begin to insist on quality representation. It's a shameful thing to say, and I will say the same. That today, Lagos State has one of the worst representation in the National Assembly. In the House of Reps, if you take away one or two reps, maybe you take Gbenga Aloto and Abigail, who else has made any fundamental contribution in the form of the House? Nobody. And there are some of them who have left since 1999, who have never left that place since 1999 and have now moved one motion. What is happening to us is that a strange culture has taken over our politics. I know that politics about service, about quality representation. They are doing pure business. They and their business associates are trading with your future, with your destiny, and the future of your children. And that's why this year and next year are very crucial. Because two things are coming up. Something is coming up this year, and that thing is coming up next year. And what's going to happen this year will set the stage for next year. What's happening this year? we are going to have a national conference in this country this year. They have said they are against this, and that's the reason why they are against it. Because the structure that we have in Nigeria today is a structure that alienates the vast majority of people, and they want to keep that kind of process structure. All they want to do is that they want to take away people from Abuja, go and take away the same structure, and do worse than what they are complaining that PDP is doing. Not that they want to change anything. When they change, it's a lie. They are not going to change nothing. And I tell people, when a man promises to give you a shirt, first of all, look at what he's wearing. If you say you want to change the whole of Nigeria, what is your scorecard in Lagos where you have been? And there's no other party as Lagos in the time. In some Alagara states in Southwest, where we had AD, BDP, ACN, from 1999 to date, it's the same tendency as Lagos State. What do you see around? At least there's nobody here who was a baby 40 years ago. I don't think there's anybody here who is not up to 6 years old in 1999. What significant improvement have you seen in this city in the last 40 years? I've told you the amount of money that we spent. And when you look at your neighborhood, you see people who could not afford a bicycle in 1999, who today own fleets of cars and have done no other work since 1999 that have been the policy of Lagos State. The very reason why they have acquired the things they have acquired is the very reason why your lives have not improved from where it was in 1999. And that's why you cannot allow that kind of policies to go on. Now, that's not where that is coming. First of all, you must ensure that you have effective participation. I ensure that it's those who can represent you effectively who will be voted as delegates to go to that conference. Why do we need a national conference at this stage? Let nobody deceive you. If you don't change the structure of this country, hold 100 elections, things will continue to get worse and worse in this country. Because we have a constitution that is not conducive to development, that encourages looting and autocracy and corruption. Any constitution that gives immunity to governors is encouraging corruption. Any constitution that considers every power in the center is encouraging efficiency. And that is why it's important for us to go and sit down and renegotiate Nigeria. I'll give you an example. I'm sure that some of you here who must have sat for JAMB twice, and you made some good scores, you cannot get a place in university. Why? Because between 1955 and 1965, when the Action Group was in charge of Western Nigeria, Awolowo ensured that a heavy investment was made in education. Go and study your history. Between those years, the year that Western Nigeria spent least on education was the year they spent 29.8% of their budget on education. That's the least they spent in any year. In fact, there are 2 years under 54-55 that they spent 41% of the entire budget on education. 41% in 2 years. And that explains why we have so many people going to schools, whose children are going to school. But at the point, Nigeria became a unitary state. And Nigeria now says, hey, you guys from this part of the country, you are too advantaged. So you are economically advantaged states. We have to slow you down so that other people can catch up. So that if you go for JAMB and you score 250, and another person score 100, 100 or 80, for another place. For that person to get the space in university, you must stay at home. Those are some of the things we have to correct at the national conference. You cannot hold somebody down for another person to rise. Let everybody move at their own pace. You cannot continue to take resources from the amount of VAT that Lagos State generates today. What comes to Lagos is a ridiculous amount of it. That cannot continue. We must look at the question of generation of resources as against the sharing of resources that we are doing at the moment. It's very fundamental. More importantly, we have to reshape our policies. The present presidency of government is too expensive and so corrupt. Left with the rural people, we rather go parliamentary. Because in a parliamentary system, if you're a prime minister, every day you are being held accountable on the floor of parliament. Unlike a president government that the governor spends the money for a whole year, he has immunity. 4 years, in fact, once you are a governor in Nigeria today, and you have immunity, if you steal money, you cannot be prosecuted. All you need to do is that to steal enough so that when you leave office, you can continue to buy yourself immunity. Which is why people stole so much when they're government, they're out of government, nobody can read about it. When you see charges to court, you can say they're smiling. Somebody was taken to code of conduct sometime last year, or year before, was put in a cage, and we saw how elected governors were going to court to that with him. That's what Nigeria is considering at the moment. We must change all that. And so when they tell you that they are against national conference, that's why they are against it. Because they know that if you have a national conference, we change the structure of this country, they will become irrelevant. The kind of influence they wield over you now will not be possible. Our people will become more empowered. At the moment, the kind of government we are in Nigeria alienates the people from the whole process. So we must get our people empowered. So that's why it's important for us to serve national conference this year, have a new constitution. So that by the time we go to the election next year, we are starting a new politics in our country. A politics that will not be money driven. A politics that will be about popularity. That the son of Mr. Nobody, that your father does not have to be a former governor for you to be a councillor, or you don't have to go and job for anybody before you be a councillor. Baba Sokwe, no more. So we need to change the face of our politics, and when we have done that, then arise Lagos, because Lagos is your own space. You now have to get ready. In every neighborhood where you are, who are those people that know that even when they are not in government, have been fighting for interests? The governor was saying the time that all his businesses are around youth and creating opportunity for them. So you know that if somebody does not have political power and is doing things that benefit you, and not because he has politics in mind, that just his passion, that means he loves the people. So you need to look for some people. Those are the kind of people you will support for elective offices. Even when they don't want to contest, they are the one who go and look for them. We want you to come out and represent us. And you see, the reason why these people are doing it now, they are putting themselves there, is because we are not all showing interest. They are not as many as we are. But because they are more organized, we are not organized. So we need to get more organized, and I think that's the beauty of what we are doing here today. And this message, this should not end about you. Every one of you must be able to spread this message in your neighborhood, relate to your friends, your family. So there's a new game coming to town. We must change the face of politics. We must change the quality of our representation. I can tell you this. When I talk about quality of representation, in the Lagos State House of Assembly, the last one, there are about 3 people that while wrote officially to the house that the school starts their parading was not issued by us in Lagos. 60 years after Olowo introduced free education in Western Nigeria, we are now serving people with 4 certificates as a related representative. It's a shame. Lagos arise. Must arise. It is time to arise. Yes. No other time but now. To take charge of your destiny, to take your destiny back and to tell your politicians that enough is enough. We have allowed it for too long. Who have taken advantage of you over a long period of time. We must begin to reassert ourselves. We must begin to say that the profit of the land is for all, not for a few people. And let me tell you why this is very important, and I'm going to end on this note. The reason why government is so crucial in the environment is that government's biggest spender of money. If Mr. Aloto, for instance, says that when he has money, he wants to give scholarships, he can give scholarships to 1,000 in Lagos State. But in the matter of weeks, Jack Conde abolished shift system in Lagos schools. In the matter of weeks, that's how government. Before Jack Conde came to shift Lagos to schools, some will come in the morning, some will come in the afternoon. But in the matter of weeks, Jack Conde abolished the shift system in Lagos State. And to date, Jack Conde government remains the reference point for governance in this state. And now, your duty is to ensure that by 2015, you have a government that will start from where Jack Conde stopped and take Lagos beyond that and move Lagos forward. I don't think that the essence of governance is all about flowers. Good as they are, beautify environments. Government is more than that.